Oh, hello. Welcome to the heart of any home, the kitchen. The holidays are approaching, and the holidays are many things to many people. One thing the holidays are to everybody is food, good food, and a little liquid refreshment too. You know, we had a series earlier, a few months ago, called What You Doing? So I thought this might be a perfect time of year to start a series called What You Cooking? Because everybody's cooking this time of year. You know what the holidays are. You walk into the kitchen, you smell something familiar, and it takes you back light years to your childhood, to the holidays where your mom or your grandmom or relatives were all in the kitchen cooking something special for the holidays. And those are wonderful memories, because Christmas was perfect then, you know. We've made it perfect in our memories. We've made it a simpler time, a more beautiful time, and in many ways, it was and it is. So, we're going to have a series called What You Cooking, and if you'd like to join us, just whip up a video of you cooking your favorite recipe for the holidays. Could be a drink, it could be food, and then send it in. And we will post it so that everybody can enjoy it. It's sort of a virtual visit for the holidays, something we all need, just to touch base with our friends. So I hope you'll join us for What You're Cooking. We have 2 entries today that we're going to bring to you, and we hope you enjoy them. So without further ado, let's go to Brian Lord. Now, you hear Brian every morning on WRAL FM, and now you get to see him in person, and his lovely and beautiful wife. They're going to be cooking a very special dish. Then we're going to move over to one of our favorites, the sweet, adorable Kathy Norris, who's been videoed by her husband, Danny Norris, who does an incredible job editing. I don't have to do anything. They send it in, and I just post it. And she's making cranberry sauce, the old-fashioned way. Anyway, they'll be coming at you. I hope you'll enjoy them, and I hope you'll come back and join us again for What You're Cooking, and I hope you'll send in some entries yourselves. So, till the next time, here are the entries. Merry Christmas. Happy New Year. Oh yeah.
My wife said our noses look better at this angle, so this is what we're going with. If there's one thing we've missed during the pandemic, it's going to pools.
Are you being serious?
Yeah.
What? No, we're not filming it this way.
Yeah, we look fine.
I'm just kidding, no.
We missed the pools mac and cheese so much. No, you're not stopping it now. I'm running away. So this is Mrs. Lauren's version of pools mac and cheese, ripped straight from the cookbook.
right, the big reveal. Oh yeah. You want it to be nice and crispy, just like that. All right, she's got a hard shell. Go ahead and crack into her. Oh, look at that, yes. That looks delicious.
Hey David, you asked what you're cooking, so Danny and I thought we'd tell you what we're cooking. It's Thanksgiving morning and we're going to be having dinner alone today because of the COVID precautions. We're going to Zoom with the kids and the grandchildren tonight, but right now we're cooking and this is what we're making. Do you remember this? I bet you grew up with this, because I grew up with this. Good old Ocean Spray jellied cranberry sauce. My mom brought it out all the time, but my mom cooked from scratch a lot, so on special occasions, she brought out these. Ocean Spray fresh cranberries and made homemade jellied cranberry sauce. And that's what we're making today. As I grew up, this is what I preferred rather than the canned stuff. So this is what we're doing. I've put a bag of the cranberries into the pot and we're going to turn the fire on to like medium. I'm going to add half a cup of water and a quarter cup of orange juice and get that cooking. I'm going to turn that on high to get it really moving. And then we're going to add a cup of sugar. And we're going to bring this all to a boil. And then we're going to simmer it for 10 minutes or so. And what's going to happen is that hot water is going to make these cranberry peels burst. And that will release all the juice from the cranberries and the meat from the berries. So that sugar's dissolving in there. See how pretty they are? And when the water gets hot and they start popping, you can hear them. You can hear those peels popping. And then our next step will be to separate the meat and juice of the cranberries from the peelings, and that's what we'll do in about 10 minutes. There they go. You hear them popping? So now the cranberries have cooked. I've simmered them for about 10 minutes and all that meat and all that juice is starting to come out, all that pulp. So the next thing we're going to do, we have to separate the peelings from the pulp and the juice. And we do that with this little contraption. This is called a food mill. And you put the food in here and you crank this and the pulp and the juice will be forced in there. The peelings will stay here. Now this one looks a little beat up and that's because it's my mother's. It's probably dates from the early 50s. I'm 73, so it's probably close to 70 years old. And she made cranberry sauce with this, and when she canned tomatoes, this is how she made tomato juice. And if you want great Bloody Mary mix, get a food mill and make tomato juice sometime. You'll notice the top of this is just a little bit different, and that's because at some point when we were little, the handle, the little cap on Mom's food mill broke off. So she got a nail and 2 pieces of our Tinker toys out of our bedroom, and she made her own little handle, and it still works today in 2020. So I'm going to put the food mill over this. This is my first piece of Tupperware. I bought that in 1967. It's called a mixing store. Don't know where the lid is, and the red paint's gone from the numbers, but it's the best piece of Tupperware I ever bought. So we're going to do this. We're going to put the food mill there, and we're going to get a spatula, and then because this is hot, we are going to very carefully pour the cranberries into the food mill. Make sure we get it all. Spatula is your best friend in the kitchen. There we go. Put that back. And then what I'm going to do is take my Tinker toy handle and start pushing that pulp and that juice down into the mixing stir. And it's going to take about 5 minutes because I really want to get it all. So I'm going to continue to do this, and I'll be back with you in a minute. Well, now this is what we have. See, all those peelings are still in the food mill, but the pulp and the juice are down here in the mixing store. And the next thing we're going to do is put this in a mold. And this is the mold I use. This was also my mother's. This is what she put her jelly cranberry sauce in when she made it from scratch. So that's what I use. Mom passed in 2000, so I'm just carrying on the tradition. So I'm going to pour the hot cranberry sauce into the mold. And that 12-ounce bag of cranberries just fills Mom's mold. Just like that. Used to be able to buy a 16-ounce bag of cranberries, but like everything else, they've made them smaller and still charge you the same amount of money. There we go. Now, the cranberry sauce is still really hot, so I'm going to leave it here on the stove or the counter to come to room temperature. That's going to take an hour or two. Then I'll stick it in the fridge, and it'll jelly up like the stuff we get in the can. Don't want to put it in the fridge too soon because then it's just too hot and it'll bring down the temperature in the refrigerator. So there we are. Mom's recipe in Mom's mold made with Mom's food mill. I'll show you what it looks like when we take it out for dinner later. So David, we're all ready. Dinner's ready. We've got the table set. This tablecloth was my mom's also. It's threadbare in a lot of places, and it probably has a cigarette burner too. Otherwise it wouldn't have been my mother's. But my brothers and I and all of our children have eaten at this tablecloth. And especially today when we can't be with any of them, it's kind of fun to use. So we've got turkey breast, mashed potatoes and gravy, dressing, sweet potato souffle, and here is my homemade cranberry sauce, David, that I can't take out of the mold because I didn't make it in time and it didn't have time to gel, so it's more sauce than jelly, but it's going to taste really good, so I'm happy about that. I hope you've enjoyed learning how to make homemade jelly kind of cranberry sauce. Danny and I are looking forward to when we can all be together again, and we miss you all, especially our theater family and especially our Christmas Carol family. But we will see you at 9 o'clock on December 24th when we all look at the moon and share the love. Bye.